name is Rachel Levinson, and I'm really excited to be here because my guest today is the one and only Shannon Waller.
Hi, Rachel. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you. Today I'm going to talk about unique ability, which has passion at its core. So this is really where we come into alignment. In terms of my own path, I started at this company, which is called Strategic Coach, which is a coaching program for very successful entrepreneurs who do not want to stop where they're at. Why I'm so excited about being here today is because I get to talk about one of the subjects that for me is most important in terms of how people are successful in their work, how they're successful in their life, how they're fulfilled and happy, and how people make the biggest contribution. Where I have kind of experimented with things I'm not good at, things I'm okay at, things I'm pretty good at but don't love, until finally I've been able to land in the place where I am doing what I love to do and what I'm best at and what I have a passion for. So thank you again very much for having me today.
Perfect. So let's define what unique ability actually even is for someone who has never perhaps heard the term before. In a really basic sort of rudimentary, here's what unique ability means. Here's sort of a simple way to evaluate your own unique ability.
Awesome. And it's actually really easy to do. I love breaking things down into their simpler components. So our original way of talking about unique ability is that unique ability has 4 characteristics. Number 1 is that you have superior skill. You are better at it than most people, and that is not just your ego talking. This is something where other people come to you, he's like, oh, you're really great at this, or oh, could you help me with that? The second point, and this is, again, what's so important to you and us as well, is the passion part. If you don't love it, it's not a unique ability, it's an excellent ability. So superior skill and passion. Without passion, it's not unique ability. It is the absolutely vital component to that. And the third one is that when you are doing your unique ability, it actually gives you energy. I've discovered I can be physically tired at the end of a day of coaching, but I'm a light. I'm on fire. I'm excited. I have new ideas. And energetically, I'm elevated is another way to talk about that. So that's kind of exciting that it's something that actually fuels you as opposed to drains you. If you think about a battery, it recharges you. And the last point, which is really, really interesting, because there's a little bit of a paradox here, is that with unique ability, you can always see room to get better. You can always see room for improvement. And it's not theoretical improvement, it's practical. But the only reason why you can see how you can get better is because you care so much, because you have that passion. So superior skill, passion gives you energy, and never-ending room for improvement. Those are really the key aspects of unique ability.
Doesn't one sort of lead to the next very organically and naturally? Chances are, if it is a high skill of yours, then you actually do love it. Even more so, the connector between the second component and the third component, if it's something you're passionate about and you love doing, that entails the definition of the third component, which is it invigorates you and it energizes you, right?
I think if you have a passion for it, automatically it gives you energy, and you can always see room for improvement. So those 3 definitely are very connected. We've discovered something really interesting about superior skill, and this is where you get really intelligent people who have tons of learning and they're well educated, and this is what we call the excellent trap. That's really where the distinction is. Superior skill, if really good at it, often can lead you have an excellent ability, but without the passion, it doesn't lead to all those other things. And we find a number of people, especially in their entrepreneurial businesses or particularly people in a corporate career, they can be so highly skilled. They're incredibly talented. I've heard a lot of this about investment banking, but at some point, they don't burn out, they brown out. And there's this constant depletion of energy. So that's really where the line is. And the challenge is that with an excellent ability, they can feel trapped because they have all of these external rewards. People say great things about them. They get kudos, they get rewards, they get highly compensated, great teamwork, fabulous reputation. So they have all of these external rewards, but internally for them, it's not nourishing. It doesn't feed them in the same way. So one of the reasons why I was really excited to talk to you, because passion is your thing, is that's the differentiator between excellent abilities and unique abilities. And once you put those things together, yes, constant invigoration and energy and never-ending improvement absolutely cascade from that. But unfortunately, I think a lot of people are trained into, because they're intelligent and they've applied themselves and they've worked hard and they've often fulfilled their parents' dreams for them. They have, done what was expected of them, but they feel a little bit hollow or a little bit empty. And again, I think one of the reasons why I'm super excited to be talking with you is if we can stress to people to not downplay their passion, to not ignore it, and to actually give it some breathing room, pretty incredible things can happen. There is one other aspect of this I've found, and usually I do it for humor when I'm coaching unique ability, but there's a grain of truth to it. Sometimes we are really passionate about things that we're not very good at. It's fine to explore those passions, whether or not you have superior skill, because they still, make you feel great and you have fun, but you probably will not earn a living that way. So those are some of the distinctions we add to that conversation, if that's useful.
By the way, Dan Sullivan actually coined the term unique ability, correct?
It totally is. Can I tell you a brief story of how that came about? Because I think it's fairly fascinating.
Sure.
Dan, before he started with Strategic Coach, was actually a consultant to the Canadian government. And I think it was the year 1980 that was the year of the disabled. And he came from an advertising and marketing background, and he was commissioned by someone that he knew in the government to go across Canada and to interview 40 disabled people and to tell their stories. And of course, he did it in a very non-governmental way. So he had their photo, he had a really beautiful, succinct, and beautifully laid out kind of story about them, but he did 40 interviews with people who had physical, mental, different types of challenges. And he said he discovered something really, really interesting. Namely, that everyone had disabilities, but what made them special and what made them unique was what they loved to do and what they were really good at. And even if they had those other disabilities, there was still something at which they were unique. And then he had this other insight that all of us have disabilities. Some of them are more obvious than others. Some of them are more hidden. But all of us have things that we're not good at. All of us have things that when we put in the time and effort, we do not get the result. And so that's actually where the whole unique ability conversation came out of, was kind of interviewing people about the opposite, but he realized that there were some people making an incredible contribution to their community, despite the fact that they were in an iron lung. No one often knew of these people's disabilities because they were focusing on what they could do, not on what they couldn't do.
I love that. It's amazing that unique ability, that concept, was born out of disabilities. It's just amazing.
Now, Dan, a couple of years ago, added some new dimensions to unique ability, which was really fun. His number one, you'll love this, is passion, which he kind of says to include superior skill, so that's going to be one. The next one is that it's where you can be a hero to other people. This is where, when you do what you love to do best, they applaud, they want more, they're willing to pay you for it. It's where you add so much value to other people that they want more of it, and they call you a hero. And then the third point is it has a multiplier impact. It doesn't just benefit, in a one-to-one relationship. It's something that actually expands and has a multiple of effects, if you want to think about it, or byproducts.